was like, oh, Ottinger.
Oh, is that who's that?
I know. Hello, Ottinger. Welcome to the party.
The party.
The
K.O.
Party. K.O. Ooh, I like it.
I know someday I'm going to have to get rid of those initials, like
No,
K.O.
just keep your last name.
I really like it.
K.O.H. Then it's
K-O-H.
like K.O.
H.
No. O. O-H is O.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah. It is O.
You would just be, instead of like K.O., you'd be like K.O.?
Oh.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
Welcome to Someone's Random Kitchen in our guest's temporary home this week. I am Brittany Bass, a full-time passenger seat princess and operations manager of Matt Becker Fishing. If you do not know me yet, I am also Matt's girlfriend. He is a professional fisherman with Major League Fishing on the Bass Pro Tour, and we are in full swing of our second season on the Bass Pro Tour, his 7th season fishing professionally, but we are super pumped and already loving the year. So with this channel and podcast, I plan to bring some of the best wives, fiancés, and girlfriends on, even some mothers, to talk about their lives, their families, their superstitions, because we got them too, and all the behind the scenes goodness that goes into making a tournament season great and possible. So this is episode 5 of Random Kitchens. Welcome back, everyone. So we are still in South Carolina currently at stage 2 on the Bass Pro Tour at Santee Cooper Chain of Lakes, and I'm super excited to introduce to you one of our newest fishing mamas, and by that I mean fishing woman and mama. Welcome professional angler Dylan Hayes' life human and girlfriend, Katie Ottinger. Yay! Welcome to not really my random kitchen, her random kitchen this week. Like I said, we are still at Santee Cooper, but by the time this goes live, the Santee Cooper tournament will have been over, so you'll have to go on MLF and check and see how everybody did. But at this point, is Dylan ready? Did he like his first practice day? They're on practice day 2, just so you guys know. How is he feeling?
I don't know. I feel like his practice days are usually not very good. In the way that he does practice, he's just riding around looking at the lake. So he's not trying to catch a ton of fish right now, but we'll see how it goes because his practice day 1 and 2 are always... Yeah. I don't know that I've ever heard him come out and say, I had a great practice. I caught a ton of fish. I'm going to get this, tournament in the bag. So
I like when Matt doesn't have a great practice because I feel like it comes together better for him in the tournament, if that makes sense. Like, if he has, like, a kick, which he would disagree, I think, but if he has, like, a killer practice, which, again, like, I don't think I've ever heard him be like, wow, I smashed him, but if he ever has, like, a good practice, I feel like it almost... It isn't the same in the tournament. The fish are always changing. So I like when it's like a medium practice.
Yeah, I'm like, just keep riding around, just keep looking, and hopefully we'll find him on tournament day.
Tournament day. Is he day 1 or day 2?
Day 1.
Okay,
yeah, day 1 this time.
So are we.
Oh,
I think. Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah.
Okay. I was getting so excited.
I know.
Yay! See you in the morning.
See you in the lunch. Okay, so if we're starting at the beginning, for people who don't know you, who are you and where are you from?
So my name is Katie Ottinger. I'm originally from about 30 minutes south of Cleveland, Ohio, and I am relocated and living in Hot Springs, Arkansas now. So
very nice.
Yeah.
And how many years has he been fishing like a professional national circuit? Do you know? A lot of years.
Great life partner award going to me. I want to say professionally 8 years.
Okay.
So I think that's what it is.
Yeah. I think because he was FLW before MLF, right?
Yes.
Okay. I think so. I think you told me that once. So.
Yeah. We'll go with that. I don't know if he'll watch this, so we're good.
How long have y'all been together?
We've been together 2.5 years now.
And
2.5 years.
How long have you been traveling with him?
This is my second tournament season on the road.
Very nice.
Yes.
Yes. Full time.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes, full time. Yeah.
So, I think the very first time, and we were talking about this earlier, that I met her was down in Texas. So Sam Rayburn, actually, where we were last week.
Yeah.
We dropped the boys off at lunch, and she was like, let's go to the gas station and get some Bloody Marys. And I was like, okay, let's go. We got those, like, the Bud Light ones.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Clamatas.
Clamataritas or something like that. They were really good. So they were those big ones. And I was like, all right, like, let's go.
Let's do it.
So how did you get here? How did you get from, like, just living in Arkansas and working to now full-time on the road? Where did you guys meet?
So our meet cute is really romantic. Dylan DM'd me on the gram. And normally, though, you know, not saying like, oh, I get these messages, but you typically ignore all those people. For some reason, I didn't ignore Dylan's like little eyeballs that he sent me.
He always does those eyeballs.
I know. And once I got to know him, I'm like, how many eyeballs have you sent out that you expected a response, and I'm the sucker that did respond? So anyways, here we are now, and there's a little baby in the background.
I know.
But he sent me the eyeballs on like a fishing picture, and then we just started casually talking. Like, it wasn't anything romantic or let's meet up right now or anything. We just had talked for a little while after that, and then he finally asked me out on a date before he got my phone number. So
what was y'all's first date?
We went to like a restaurant bar.
Oh, okay.
And don't ask me the name of it because I won't remember. He would. I don't. But I'll never forget because I had just gotten off of work and I was in my scrubs, and I went up to the bar and I got this huge tall beer. You know, I'm like nervous to meet him and everything, and he walks in and he's like, I knew you were super independent right from there because you were sitting at the bar by yourself with this giant beer at lunch.
Sometimes you just need it.
Yes.
Sometimes you just need it. So is he like sappy romantic guy or pretty reserved?
Well,
and are you?
Well, I think he would tell you that he's very sappy with me.
Yeah.
But I think he's reserved to everybody else.
Yeah, you can get that.
Due to our outlet situation. Hi, honey. Oh, it's okay. You're on the podcast.
Is he a big sappy romantic guy or pretty reserved?
I think to everybody else he's very reserved, but to me he's super sappy.
Yeah?
Yeah, very much so.
Are you also sappy romantic?
No.
No,
I'm not. I'm not.
Yin and yang. I like
Yes.
it. Is it like sappy romantic, like doing things, or like what's the love language? I guess is what I'm asking.
So he's very much a physical person. He wants to do the cuddles and the hugs and all that. And I will tell you, but when I hug, I have my hands like this, ready to like push away. Because I'm like an acts of service. I like people to do things for me. So
that makes sense. I was talking to somebody about it because like I think I give love differently than I receive love.
Yes.
Like I think I am an acts of service giver, but I like quality time and physical touch.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm weird. A little bit weird, I think.
Oh.
Who said I love you first? Do you remember?
Oh, he said I love you first. He was leaving for a tournament. Yeah, and he didn't want to leave without saying it. So
was that Sam Rayburn?
It might have been. Maybe? No. Possibly. I wasn't going with him, so I don't think it was Sam Rayburn. No. But he said he didn't want to leave for the week or week and a half without saying it.
That is sappy romantic.
My response was, you do? You love me? Little me?
Question mark? Are you sure?
Yeah, pretty much.
I love that. So we kind of hinted at this, but they have had a very big year this past year. So fully transitioned out of working full-time for someone else. Mm-hmm. Now you're fully in the business, found out you're pregnant, and bought a house, redid a house, and transitioned an apartment into an Airbnb.
Yes.
All of the things.
All of the things.
Along with tournament season.
Mm-hmm.
So how did that go? Tell me about it.
When you say it out loud, I'm like, wow,
I did all that.
Yeah,
isn't
it
that
was
crazy?
a year. Yeah, so we found out that we were expecting, and we decided, wow, we really need to get a bigger house because, you know, he has the 2 daughters, and then me and him. It was kind of a crammed little house to start, but then knowing that we were we definitely needed a bigger place. So we actually looked at a house, found a house while we were in Gunnersville last year.
Oh.
Yep.
So
You
were putting an offer in, weren't you?
Yeah.
Oh.
So our realtor was supposed to do a walkthrough with me on a Zoom call because he was on a tournament day, so he couldn't do like a walkthrough. Yeah. And it turns out that we have terrible Wi-Fi service at that house, so she could not show me the house at all. She took some pictures and tried to send them and couldn't. So we really trusted her judgment, and then we kind of shared that we were very interested in the house, and we were able to go and look at it when we got back, and then we put an offer in, and of course the list of projects just started coming and we said, well, in order to get in here, we might as well get as much done as we can before the baby comes, and then once you're moved in, you don't want to have to move a bunch of furniture to work on projects. So
y'all redid floors, kitchen.
Yep. New floors, new counters. We got the cupboards like restained, kind of like updated. New handles. We put on new shutters. We put in new pillars on our front porch.
The lime too. That looks good. She lime washed, I think is what it's called. Mm-hmm. It looks so good. The brick.
Yeah.
Did y'all do the fireplace too?
No, we haven't done the fireplace yet, but it's on the list of to-dos. That's a whole other thing. But yeah, lime wash the whole bottom part of the house, the brick. So we got all that done. Looks good. Bunch of power washing, bunch of yard work.
All the things.
Yeah, all the things.
And when you transition out of like working full-time, do you like work with him now on Dylan Hayes Fishing? Mm-hmm. You do content and all of the things there, and obviously all the back end stuff. I always say back end, but just to give you guys perspective of that, like all of the bookings, because they don't have anyone that books them. Mm-hmm. So all throughout the week, all the bills, all of the money, probably all of that, like it all goes into, when I say like back end, anything not on the water is what I like to say. Yes. And handled off.
Yes. And I like to think that I keep the household running. So like the groceries, the cleaning, the organizing, basically keeping him on task too. Like, again,
herding cats a little.
Yeah, very much so. And so, like, for us to be able to travel and get all this stuff done, I think he relies on me a lot. I like to believe that. But I'm pretty sure he'd be going out on the water for practice and tournament days, eating peanut butter crackers if I wasn't around. So
yes. 100% with like dirty everything.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think so too. Yeah. I know. Like I was telling Missy when I was doing her interview, I really wanted to do this because they really can't do what they need to do without us doing what we do back here. And so I just wanted everyone to kind of meet like who keeps the world running while they are able to focus on fish. It's really important, but
they're very good at fishing, but sometimes like the cleaning, the household stuff, the organizing, the bookings.
I swear Matt doesn't see. So if like a speck of dirt gets on his boat, he identifies it immediately. A speck of dirt in the kitchen, he doesn't see. A whole thing of dirt, doesn't see. Like, does not see the mess that he makes anywhere other than the boat. But if that boat has water spots on it, I mean, full wax.
You're going to the car wash.
Yeah, I'm like, how do you not see? You know,
the carpet gets muddy or dirty on the boat. Oh no,
freaks out.
Right, you wear your work boots in through the house. No problem.
No problem. I know, it's wild. It's so wild. So when you found out you were pregnant, did you tell Dylan right away?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I definitely did. Yes, I did. We were actually at Lake of the Ozarks last year for one of the invitationals.
When you found out?
When I found out, yes.
That's awesome.
Yes, and so I was in the bathroom, like I was super sick, and I was in the bathroom, and I found out I was pregnant, and I was just like, Dylan,
look at what you did!
We did this! We need a bigger house.
Oh my gosh.
And to win a tournament or two.
Yeah. I need a college fund now.
Yes.
Thank you. So I know you did obviously all of these things last year. Are you happy with your house now? Are you very excited, like where you guys are living and it all came together perfectly?
Yes, I absolutely love it. I love our house, and I was very, very nervous when we were buying a house because it's a huge commitment,
it's huge,
right?
Yeah.
And then also just having like a little bit of a blended family, that's another commitment. You're moving in together, you know, that's obviously never going to change. But I'm super happy now. I love where we live. It's peaceful. It's quiet. We've got a bunch of woods surrounding us, so can't really ask for more.
Yeah, no, that's perfect.
Yeah, we're really fortunate.
So obviously we've been talking about her, but we'll have another fishing fan. Hopefully she loves it. But soon to be Fisher Lady as well. So talk to me a little bit about Cameron. And I keep looking over here because Kristen is holding her right now. But so when was she born? I love this.
Okay, so she was born December 31st, New Year's Eve, and it came out to be 123 for the date. So
I love it so much.
Yeah.
And then how did you guys decide on her name?
Well, this was something that we had gone back and forth on all throughout pregnancy, and we'd start looking at names. In 5 minutes in, I said, this is too overwhelming. I can't do this anymore.
It's a lot to name a human.
Yes, and forever.
I know. It's like their identity.
Right. And if you love a name, is that going to wear off? You know, because it's kind of a fad? Or so we were in the hospital and it was 3 a.m. We went in around 9:30 or 10 p.m. So then 3 a.m. comes and I'm like, listen, we really need to get a name because we're going to have this child. Like, we're here.
Yeah. She's about to meet
Yes. We cannot go home unnamed. So that's when we just kind of sat down and we picked our top 3. And I just said, which one do you like? And he said, I like Cameron. I said, okay, great. That's her name.
I love it.
So
they also did something kind of cool, which I'm a huge proponent of because there are very few actual surprises in this world. What did y'all do with her?
We did not find out the gender, so she was our gender surprise baby.
So exciting. So they had no idea how to pick names, obviously for boys and for girls. And then when they had her, they were like, what is she?
Yeah, what is she? The doctor held her over and said, it's a girl.
Oh, did you just cry? I would be so excited.
You know, this sounds like so terrible, but I was so like
in the thing.
Doped up on medication from having the C-section that when they held her over the curtain and said it's a girl, I didn't really process anything. I was just like, okay, am I still alive?
Oh.
Great. Yeah,
when did you like that. Realize everything was done? Like
a couple hours after is when I like came to.
Yeah.
I tell everybody this, but I even felt so bad because Dylan brought her to me and was like, here she is. Do you want to give her a kiss? And I was like, no.
Oh, yeah.
So I had to get my snuggle time in like a couple hours later when I sort of came to.
Yeah, dang. I know, I mean, it is full-blown surgery, so
yeah.
It's not like, you know, you don't want to be doped up for that. You definitely do.
Yeah, you definitely
Beam me up, Scotty. Give me all of that.
And then not sleeping and all the medication, I was just like...
Yeah, exhausted. So going into this season with her, what are you most looking forward to share with her? And then what is your biggest worry about traveling with her?
Yeah, so I'm most excited for her just to, I know she's like a wee little baby, but I'm excited just to bring her places and get to share that with her. And you know, she's so young that when she sees a light in the ceiling, she gets so excited and she's mesmerized. And I think it's cool to be able to share her first year and, you know, even her first few months of life, getting to travel and see her dad go to tournaments and live out his dreams. So even though she won't remember this, I will.
Yeah, 100%. And like, they do obviously travel a lot. On another podcast, I was saying, like, base level, if you do 15 tournaments, it's like 150 tournament fishing days a year minimum, basically. So to not have those with her in her first year would be, I feel like, difficult.
Yeah.
I definitely am very proud of you for bringing her and having her along, because I know it's a lot, but I think it's important. I mean, like you said, she's like learning the world, so to not be where you both can see her would be hard.
Yeah, I agree. Mm-hmm. And even our last tournament, we ended up coming home after one day because it got to be way too much. But Dylan came home after that tournament and he hadn't been home for 6 days and he couldn't get over how much she grew in 6 days. Like her hair, and she looked like a little baby now, not just like this little newborn. And I don't know, if we can do it and he provides for us, I want to be able to go with him too, so he gets to experience it all.
100%.
Yeah.
What do you think the hardest part has been, which we're only at the second tournament, but so far, what do you think the hardest part has been?
The hardest
with
part,
traveling with her.
Yeah, and so like our last tournament, since I came home early, it was just really overwhelming. The hardest part is that I can handle a lot of things as far as conditions in the house or it not being super clean or us not being an ideal location. Yeah. I'm fine with all of those things, but now I have to consider her. So what kind of place is she staying? Is it clean for her? Is she going to get sick? Does it have, is the air okay? Is she going to be coughing or have allergies? And
warm or hot?
Warmer, hot.
Or warmer, cold. Hotter, cold, hotter, cold.
Well, we are dealing with a little kitchen issue and heating issue right now in this Airbnb. And so
just a little one, though. It's really not that bad.
We are concerned about the heat.
It's okay. We have hats and socks.
As long as we have warm and hot and socks.
So how does Dylan feel about being completely outnumbered? Because like she said, they are a blended family. So he has 2 daughters and now has a 3rd daughter and Katie. So that is some serious outnumbering. Yes. How does he feel about it all? Like, girl dad maxed out.
Oh, his response, he's always so positive towards us, but I know it has to be a lot because I'm a lot by myself, but then you add in 2 little girls, 9 and 7, who are starting to go through the girl things, and then you have another one, a newborn, who's going to go through the girl things and the emotions. But he does say, he says, I don't even know any different. Like, I don't know.
Is he wrapped around all their fingers?
Yes, 100%.
I feel like he would be a total sucker.
Total sucker for them. Yes. Yeah.
Do Harbor and Henley love being an older sister?
Yes, they do. Especially Henley. She's so good with her. She wants to help out in every way that she possibly can.
She's the oldest, right?
Yes.
You said 9 and 7?
9 and 7, yeah.
Okay. No, that is super exciting. So what do you see each of them teaching Cameron? Because they both have very different personalities. So I'm like kind of interested. Like, what do you think once she's able to kind of like really be taught, obviously because she's still a baby, what do you think they will want to teach her?
So Henley, I think, is going to teach her structure and organization because she's very together. Yeah. She likes all those things. And Harbor, I think, is going to be the social butterfly. So she's going to teach her how to sneak out of the house and how to get away with things.
I love
That's
it.
what I think.
It's a good balance.
Yes.
I think Cameron will have like excellent little role models.
Yes.
And I think it is important to have a little like spunky side too.
Yeah.
So, you got to sneak out every once in a while.
I mean, we all definitely
didn't when I was a kid.
Yeah, no, I never did.
Me and Autumn definitely didn't write plans on how we could take a ladder out the 2nd story window.
No, never. I mean,
never.
My brother and I did not forge notes and go to Waffle House before school.
I did not leave school and go to Wendy's. Like, and eat the Frosties. Like, I have no idea why I thought that was so cool. But I did it.
It was cool.
It was cool.
Frosties are good.
So, what is...
Oh, that might be that guy.
Okay. So we did that. Okay, what has been your proudest mom moment so far?
Oh, okay. Proudest mom moment, believe it or not, even though at Toledo Bend we did come back because I was not doing great there. My proudest moment was being able to make the trip there with her. We drove separately, so I had Cameron in the car. She was like 4 weeks old, 5 weeks old. And we made the 4.5-hour road trip, me, her, and the animals. And it all went smoothly. And I was really proud of myself because I think that could get overwhelming, having to pull over or change or feed a baby in the car. But we did it. And I could have gotten upset and all those things, but we handled it smoothly. Yeah. So I was really proud of that. Yeah.
I was proud of you. That's why I had put in my thing. I was like, I am insanely proud of you. And like she mentioned, so not only is she traveling, or they are traveling with Cameron now, they also have a cat and a dog that have their issues a little bit. They have Marla, a diabetic cat, and Fisher, a pup who gets car sick.
Yes. And we travel in one truck. So all of that is going on there. And
it's just a lot.
Yes. And Dylan wants me, disclaimer to everybody, we are not cat people. So that's the first thing that he tells everybody. We are not cat people. But I love every animal that needs a home and is a stray. So when someone asked me, hey, do you want to take this little kitten? She was born out by a dumpster. They put a bell around her neck 15 years ago. Of course I said yes. And now she's
15 years
old? Yeah.
So, she looks so spry.
Yeah. So she's a traveling kitty. She's been all over with us last year, this year, and she's traveled to more states than probably a lot of people have.
Yeah. Aw. She just kind of does her own thing.
Yeah.
She's seems like a good cat.
We had one of my proudest cat mom moments. We had a house on Mille Lacs Lake for our tournament last year, and a lot of the anglers were going out at that boat ramp, and Marla got to sit out, look at the window, and she got to watch Kevin Van Dam go out to practice. And I just thought that was so cool. I'm like, you don't even know.
With Marla and Kevin.
I'm like, you don't even know you're experiencing a part of history with KVD right now. She's just awesome. Watching out the window.
Oh, do you have a proud dog mom moment?
No.
That's okay. It'll come. He has a couple more years. A lot more years.
Anytime Fisher comes back to me when I call him, that's a proud moment because he does not listen to me at all. He just looks at me, okay, lady, I know you're not serious, and moves on with his life. So anytime
no treats, no goodness.
Yeah. Anytime he listens is a proud moment for me.
Good. Well, we'll add that in there.
Yes.
So not only are you a mama, like I mentioned at the beginning, she has always been an outdoorsman. So I know you love to kayak fish, and you also love to hunt. So I saw you went hunting fully pregnant, and you got a deer.
Yes.
So how did all of that go? I know it was super, super important. So I know it was a very proud moment, kind of combining all of your loves.
Yes, I think it was actually my proudest moment of pregnancy. Just surviving the pregnancy is really proud, but I still was climbing up in the tree stand up until I was 8.5, 9 months pregnant, which that made me feel really proud of myself. You know, I'm not limiting, although I'm sure my doctor would have said, do not do that. But I was still pulling my bow back and all that good stuff. Yep. And so,
wait, so did you kill the deer with the bow?
Yes.
Oh!
Yeah. So it was my first archery deer.
Very
and then
nice.
It was a buck. So I was really proud of myself.
Yeah.
A lot of firsts on that one. And then I had Cameron with me. So I was really, really proud.
Dylan was in the tree stand next to it, or did he come with you on that one or no?
No, he wasn't there with me. So
that's exciting.
Yes.
I mean, not that we don't want Dylan there, but like it's still
it was
like,
cool. I did it all on my own.
Yeah, that's like INDEPE.
That's right. And it was actually really cool because when I told him I shot the deer, we let it sit for a little while. I got out, we went, we looked, we didn't see a whole lot of sign, and so I was feeling really bad. Like I had a broken arrow with like some fur and some white stuff on it, and I was feeling really bad, like, oh man. And Dylan was like, you didn't get this, I wasn't a good shot, oh no, you know. So we let it sit overnight, and then the next morning we took Fisher out there with us, and we were looking around for it. We didn't find anything. Dylan gave up, and as soon as Dylan gave up on me, my dog Fisher
proud mom.
Yes, very proud. Yes, there it was. That's it. He threw his little nose up in the air, and I swear 20 yards to our left, there was my deer. And we didn't need to wait. He was down.
Yeah.
He was for sure down within a couple of minutes of that shot. But
heck yeah.
Yeah, so it was good. It was good.
No, that's awesome. I'm proud of you. I was very proud when I saw it because I knew that you, one, wanted to get a deer, but like while pregnant, but also like just didn't want to limit yourself while you were pregnant.
Yeah.
So how did you get into hunting and fishing?
So my dad hasn't been around. He passed away when I was really young, so I didn't have him to kind of guide me and go through all that. But my grandpa was a huge fisherman on Lake Erie. He supplied our churches, all our local churches, with our fish fry. And so I kind of like to think that it was in my blood, but I never got to fish with him. I never got to go hunting with my dad or anything. But just growing up, I happened to have a lot of friends that were, you know, into that kind of stuff and introduced me. So I got into like walleye fishing up on Lake Erie, you know, before days of like taking a picture of your fish and weighing them and all that stuff. So that's kind of how I started, was walleye fishing on Lake Erie, and then it just grew from there.
And then when you moved to Arkansas, did you get into kayak bass, or did you do bass fishing in your kayak up there too, in Ohio?
So I actually kind of started my kayak fishing before moving to Arkansas.
Okay.
But then when I came down to Arkansas, that's when it really took off a lot more.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there's a lot more, I feel personally, like opportunity for bass fishing and kayak fishing down
Around
south.
Arkansas.
Yeah, just with all the little lakes and creeks. And, you know, up in Ohio, if you go to Lake Erie, that's one thing. But to go out on a big pond like that on a little kayak by yourself is, yeah, and it's intimidating.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I like the little creeks and backwaters and things like that
Yeah,
down
there's
here.
like more bays and stuff down there too.
Sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
Well, I feel like I'm interrupting.
No, give a wave to the podcast.
So, going from Ohio to Arkansas, you also got more involved on like the women in fishing scene through Midwest Women's Meetup. Is that kind of how you found some other ladies that like to do what you do?
Yes. So when I was still living in Ohio, I actually Instagram again. Instagram. I guess I'm socially awkward, so like I have to meet everyone via Instagram and then go from there. But I actually saw on one of my friends' Instagram pages or someone that I followed that there was a ladies Midwest meetup and it was an ice fishing get together. And basically it said, if you're interested in this, you know, reach out to so-and-so and she'll give you more information. So that's what I did, and I got more information. Alicia now Gajeski is the one who started Ladies Midwest Meetup, and basically 20 ladies from all over the Midwest met up. None of us knew each other. We all met up in Wisconsin, and all of our parents warned us against it. They said, you're going to be murdered. Like, this is not a good idea. Do not go meet random people from the internet. Like, but it turns out that none of us knew each other. We all met up, and a lot of us met our best friends. So now I have
perfect.
Yeah,
like a core group of friends from that.
Yes, and Alicia's actually my best friend now. So
Aww.
yeah, I was in her wedding. She'll of course be in mine, and we talk every day. So
slid into the DMs.
That's right.
The DMs are a good
The
place.
DMs just work for me, I guess.
Wait, so that's awesome. So are you going every year, or are you able to kind of like intermix that, or do you guys now just kind of like plan that and some offshoot things? Like, is that still available for people to do? Like, are they still doing it?
Yeah, so
Okay,
she
cool.
actually, she's expanded it too. So there's several ice fishing events that she does now.
That's awesome.
Yes, and she has co-hosts because she can't go to every single one. They're in different states: Minnesota, Michigan, Wisconsin, and then I want to say they went to South Dakota too for ice fishing.
That's awesome.
Yes, and then she's also expanded it into open water fishing, like kayak fishing trips. So they did a catfish kayak trip too, so that was really cool.
Dang. No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So if people are listening and you want to do it, do they just go to the Ladies Midwest Meetup?
Yep, Ladies Midwest Meetup. You can find them on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, and she does have a webpage, and it's a nonprofit. So it's just women trying to get together, meet each other, you know,
just
network.
find like-minded humans.
Exactly.
I love
And
that.
just have a good time. So that's what we do.
Well, and I know you obviously hunt and fish on your own, but do you like hunting and fishing with Dylan?
I love it, but it can be hard to get him off of tournament mode for fishing.
Yep.
So, like, when we go fun fishing, as I call it, or when I try to get him in a kayak instead of on his bougie
You tried to
boat.
put him in a kayak?
Oh, yeah. I said, we need to go on a kayak. Like, you can sprawl out on a boat. You have a motor. You can go all over the lake. Let's put you in a kayak where, like, you're secluded to a little area because you can't get yourself all over this 40,000-acre lake. And it's also just fun to see a 6'3" guy on a kayak. Yeah. Who's, like, used to launching a boat, you know. So
that's funny. Does he let you in like the front area of his boat, or are you off the back?
Oh no, he wants me in the front.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice.
I haven't had a whole lot of drive to learn the trolling motor except for this past year. So now I'll go on the trolling motor, and I like to pick my own fishing spots.
Yes.
So if he picks a spot and we're not catching anything in like 10 minutes, I'm like, we need to move, we need to do this, we need to change, we need to do all these things. So I try to coach him.
Oh, yeah.
And like...
I know. It's hilarious. Like, I do the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, Brittany. And I'm like, I'm just not feeling it. If I was a bass, I wouldn't be here.
I'm not getting the vibes, so
we
gotta go.
The vibes. We gotta move.
Yes. So I'm like a backseat driver on the boat.
I love it. I like to like fish off the back of the boat when he is at the trolling motor, just because like I care less if I don't see what's going on, if that makes sense. If I see what's going on, I freaking love it. Like, I love identifying fish and trying to cast to them, but it definitely makes it like a little more complicated when we're both up there.
Oh yeah, I love the space of being in the back too. Like I like just doing my own thing.
Yes,
so.
100%. So what is your most memorable fishing or non-fishing memory together?
Ooh. Every time I outfish him from the back of the boat is my favorite fishing memory with him. And it happens a lot. So I forget where we were, but it was last year. We were smallmouth fishing, and there was a lake. I want to say it was Wisconsin or something, but there was a lake where their boundaries. You could go out fun fishing on the upper half of the lake because they weren't allowed to be on there. So he wasn't doing super great in the tournament finding something. We went to this upper part of the lake where we were allowed to be fishing on our off days.
Saginaw.
Yeah, was it Saginaw?
Yeah.
Was it?
So.
Okay, yeah, Saginaw. And I smoked the smallies because I wanted to use a tube and he wanted to use like a net or a drop shot or something. And I said, well, this is how my friends up north do it. Yeah. So
Matt's dad loves a tube.
Yes, I love the tube. So I started throwing that and I smoked them.
I love it. I love it so much. Yeah. I know. That's like my biggest fish. It's definitely one of those stories. Like, I chose where I was going to cast and just was like,
and what you were using. And
yeah. And he's like, no, one's not going to be back there. I'm like,
watch this. That's like a really proud moment when you
it is. It is
show
a
them
little
up
bit.
little.
I know. It doesn't happen often. And like amount of fish, I always say like when I go with him, typically I'm slower. Like my fishing style is slower. So I typically catch like the first bass and then like the biggest of the day.
Yeah.
But he catches the most, like way more than me. It's just like I always have like the first for sure and the biggest, generally speaking, and I really like it.
We'll keep it that way.
Yes, 100%. So traveling can be a lot. A lot. We'll tell you some stories in a little bit, but more about the tournament side. But the quality time part can be hard. So what is y'all's like go-to date night on the road? Or do you have like it doesn't even have to be date night, but just what do you guys do to stay bonded on the road? And it doesn't have to be anything. Like, we struggle with this.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, obviously, as you guys know, like practice days, tournament days, it's pretty much geared to fishing 100%. You know, he'll come home from a practice day. Like I was telling Brittany earlier yesterday, he's talking about everything he did, everywhere he went, what was happening and all that. And I'm like, okay, you know, so how about these different swaddles for our baby? And it's just, you know, so there's a lot of like, when we're on the road, fishing is obviously the focus because it's the job.
Yep.
But on the off days, he's very good about making it a point to go do something together. So like, yeah. And, you know, he kind of turns off the fishing thing, at least for that day or those few hours. And we'll go try to find something. So like in Gunnersville, we went and checked out some caves. There's a waterfall that was really cool. But since we do share like the love of fishing, there are a lot of off days that we will go find a little lake and go fishing.
Yeah.
And that's like our bonding.
Especially when it's nice out.
Yes.
It's so nice.
Yes. And now our fishing days, my fishing days both of ours are kind of limited, you know, with the babies.
Cameron.
So we have an infant life vest for her though.
Do you?
Yes.
Is it adorable?
It's so cute.
Oh my
and
gosh.
It's special, I think, because her sisters wore it too. So Henley and Harbor, I think it was one of
like
theirs.
Passed down. Shared.
So it's still in really good shape though because they grow so fast.
Aww.
So I can't wait to get her on the boat.
Floating.
Yes.
She needs like little sunglasses, little braids, and that cute little hat. Oh my gosh. Yes. So what is something that you like to do just for you while on the road? Because like you said, it really is all about fishing. So like where do you find your time? Or how, I guess?
I think my time comes from like, I don't want to say I'm particular, but I enjoy when we get to stay in a nice area, having somewhere for me. So like where we're staying this time, it's on the water, which I absolutely love. because we just get to sit out there and enjoy like the backyard.
Yeah.
And I think just being able to sit down and relax and enjoy like our surroundings, that's kind of what I like to do.
about it.
Yep, just like sitting out there drinking coffee, you know, by the water or on the porch. It's kind of what I do for myself.
Yeah, I like it. Just time.
Yeah.
I know I like reading. So at the end of this, and y'all know, I'll ask you to ask a question of our next guest without knowing who it is. And Missy asked, she's our last guest, so she asked
Missy.
you, but she didn't know. But she asked, what is your best piece of advice for moms traveling? Like just starting out, what have you learned, you know, so far that you're like, definitely don't forget this?
I think there's a couple things. So 2 things. You know, if you're traveling with a baby or a child and you forget something or you need something, more than likely you're going to be able to get that from somewhere. Yeah. Whether it's someone on the road that's traveling with kids, or a store that you can find something at. Just try to be very go with the flow. It doesn't always work because it's kids and you're a mom and you want to make sure they have everything they need. But that would be my biggest one, is just try to go with it and just don't make a plan for yourself and your baby. They will direct you.
It will all come to fruition eventually.
And then my second piece, which I have a hard time with, and Brittany knows this, but asking for help or asking for extra hands. So she had to call me this morning and like force me out of the house because it's just easier to stay.
Yeah. I just said, I'm coming in 20 minutes.
Yeah. And so
you up,
she's like, yeah, so that was it, just 20 minutes. But it's easier to like make excuses not to go out, not to do things. But just like knowing that you have the support and the extra hands. And there's a lot of moms that travel.
Yes.
And even not moms, like they're super understanding. And like, this is who we have when we're on the road. And this is kind of like our fishing family. So just ask for help when you need it.
Yeah. And even obviously, I feel like if you struggle asking for help, just like make sure you're still talking to other people so that they can kind of gauge where your help meter is. Because, like, I know she'll never ask, which is why I call. Like, hey, are you on the way? What's going on?
Yeah.
Like,
the keys are in the truck. We don't have the stroller wheels.
No wallet.
I don't have a wallet.
Like, I'm coming.
It's okay. I got you. Be there in 20.
Yeah, be there in 20.
Yeah.
So kind of going with the same thing. Just a new woman, a part of this fishing family. So even prior to Cameron, what is like your best piece of advice just coming into the fishing tournament world?
My best piece of advice is just meet people, make friends, talk to people. Everyone's from different areas, but we have a lot in common, and we're going through the traveling thing. We're going through tournament stuff, the stresses of fishing and all that comes with that. So just make friends, meet people, and kind of put yourself out there a little bit.
And I think it's important because, like, what she was talking about with Dylan and the swaddling, I want to hear about the swaddling while he might not be able to hear about the swaddling. So just like, and I had to vent to her earlier. So it's like just having someone that isn't on the water. I think that's good advice.
I agree.
So last question, we're going to take a quick break. If we had a WAGS fishing tournament, meaning wives and girlfriends fishing tournament, which wife or girlfriend do you think would win?
Oh, is it wrong to say me?
You definitely can. I like really want this to happen because I just think it would be so fun.
I think that would be awesome.
We just like take their boats for a day.
Yes. Oh gosh, yeah, that would be.
It would be so interesting. Anna's like, that would be good TV. Anna Cooper.
I also feel like Haley would be really good. Jesse Wiggins' wife. I bet she would.
I like heard. I mean, because a lot of them, like Bobby Chapman, apparently is like really excellent at fishing. Tilly, like the Murrays. I was like, dang. I mean, we got actually a lot. I feel like Anna would be good.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
I bet Tilly would smoke us.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna take a quick break and get a drink, and then also check the house because we've had some zapping happening, some duct taping. You've seen this very nice man named Kevin in and out of here because funny on the water travelingness, you are in different houses, which we're gonna go through. They stay in Airbnbs, and this one has some surprises, so we'll dive into it when we come back. We are back. So we're going to get into the tournament world and kind of all of the ins and outs and how they handle all of it. So let's start with, how did he get into fishing?
So as much as I know about him, he's been into fishing his entire life. I think he knew from a really, really young age that he wanted to be a professional fisherman.
Yeah.
And his dad, like, didn't fish or anything. It's just what he's always wanted to do. So
That's
he'd go,
awesome.
yeah, so he'd go, like, pond hopping. He'd go do some illegal pond hopping and go fishing all there. And then he got his boat and all that good stuff.
History.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
Yeah.
So obviously you knew before y'all started dating that Dylan was a professional bass fisherman.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what did you think of that when you were, like, going into it? Because I know, like, where I was, like, I had no idea about nothing. So
Right. Yeah.
What did you think, like, going into that?
I really didn't have a whole lot of thoughts on it. He could have been like a garbage collector, and I wouldn't have really thought much about it.
Yeah.
But then obviously I got to learn more about it as we got into things and all that good stuff. I had no idea
I was about to
any
say, so
tournament stuff.
did you know, like, the extent of it
No.
when you were starting?
No. I know.
I know. I feel like I definitely didn't either. So now, like, knowing what you know now, like, what is the biggest misconception that you think people have? And obviously, like, you came from a fishing background, so even coming from that, like, what do you think is the biggest misconception about this sport?
We've talked about this before, and I think a lot of us talk about it, but the biggest misconception, what I say, is, like, these fishing tournaments and being gone for a week and a half, 2 weeks are a vacation. I think it's, like, the complete opposite of a vacation. Yeah. And, like, to me, time off is actually going home and being at home and all that stuff, because I don't think people realize the amount of work that goes into, number one, a tournament, but number two, traveling as much as we're on the road.
Yeah.
There's a lot of packing, a lot of remembering things, organizing. As you guys are going to see, we have issues, you know, with things, whether you're in an RV, you know, you've got your own stuff going on with that, with camping. But like Airbnbs, you have your issues with those too. Yeah. And so I think a lot of, like, I know my family and friends, when they hear, oh, you're going to a tournament, where are you going? South Carolina, Florida. In their mind, it automatically clicks, like, ooh, nice weather, sunny, that's a vacation. But to me, it's kind of like the opposite.
Yeah, it's work week.
Yeah. And we do get there's a lot of blessings that come with it too. We get to experience and see, like, a lot of different places that we wouldn't. But yeah, I think the biggest misconception is the amount of work that actually goes into tournament weeks and traveling.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
So what is your favorite part of tournament fishing life?
So, yeah, in that same respect, when we do get an off day, and it might only be 1 day, maybe 2 days throughout, you know, like the 10-day period. But when we do get that off day, if we're able to, you know, make the best of our day, whether we go fishing on a new lake that I never would have gone to, or go check out some cool restaurants, or, like, we've been to different caves. And
apple orchards.
Yes. Apple orchards.
All the good things.
So it kind of goes hand in hand, I guess. It's, you know, a cursing and a blessing. So.
Yeah. I love it. I actually do love, too, that the coming home part is the relaxing part, because I feel like a lot of people go away for vacation, but, like, we get to come home and enjoy everything you worked hard to build as your vacation. Obviously, you do vacations, too, but, like, the bass fishing as a vacation is a joke. That's laughable. It is anything but.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love
so
going home.
What is the hardest part of loving a tournament angler?
I'm his coach, and he's not very coachable. So
my player is not coachable.
He's not coachable. But I think the hardest part is, like, when we do try to go fun fishing, is trying to get him off of tournament fishing mode. Because to him, whether we're fun fishing or he's guiding, he's always set on, like, I need to catch fish. I need to catch fish. I need to catch fish. And I'm out here, like, picture of the sunset. Woo! You know, and so I think that's probably
the hardest part. Yeah. No, I can see that.
Yeah.
It would be hard to turn off.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the second tournament now that you've had Cameron, but what if anything, do you think will change having her? Do you think your travel plans will change? Do you plan on continuing to come full time? Like, what do your plans look like for the tournament year?
So my plans are really just kind of taking it as we go. We do stay in Airbnbs, so like looking at the Airbnb ahead of time, trying to gauge or book something that's appropriate to have not only a baby, but a cat, dog, and myself in. And I'm a homebody, so I like to spend time at the Airbnb. I'm not gone 24/7. I'm not leaving in the morning and coming back at night. I enjoy like the households and doing things around it. I don't know 100% that I'm going to be traveling full time. I think some of the further ones that we go to, I don't know if I'll make it to those or not. But when we go to New York, my mom's in Ohio, and she's like a halfway stopping point. Yeah, so
definitely there.
Yeah, we kind of make fun. Yeah, we kind of make that like a little visitation too, and we get a free place to stay overnight.
Love it.
So yeah, we're kind of just going like tournament to tournament for this year and kind of see how things go with her.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
I like it. So, like you said, they stay in Airbnbs. So, do you normally, or let me back up a little bit. In their Airbnb, they have everyone. How do you pack for that?
It takes a long time.
Where do you put everything?
Yes. So lists on my notes on my phone. I have a list where I check everything off.
Every time.
Every single time. What I need to do before I leave the house, but then also like what everybody needs. So like my cat, she's diabetic. I have to make sure I have her insulin, her needles, and then somewhere to put those, like a sharps box. And then, the dog, he's pretty easy, but he also has to have his medicine for his motion sickness for the car ride, and then the baby, she's on milk. So, yes. So I pack everything, and we kind of have like a good system, I think, but I pretty much pack up everything other than Dylan's clothes and bathroom bag. And I set it all in a particular area, and he loads the truck, and I say, X, Y, and Z need to be accessible for this reason, and so he'll make sure that where he puts them in the truck, I can get to. So like the cooler, I have to be able to get to the cooler because she's, breastfeeding right now, so that has to be accessible
with
to me.
Milk.
And then I kind of try to pack so that if we have to stop overnight, I can just grab one bag, and that'll have stuff in it for...
I'm still learning that.
It doesn't always
happen. I'm terrible with that. I do so bad. But I think you guys do a good job. So do you take up most of the truck with stuff, and then he puts his stuff in the boat? Is that how you guys organize your travel stuff? Like, meaning all the fishing stuff just stays in the boat, or does he also have tackle like in the truck too, and it just can kind of house everything?
I think it's a mix of both. So like this last time, he said if our boat cover flies off, we're losing all of our clothes. So I think our clothes were in the boat this last time. Like, also those covers, like, you're not supposed to travel with those like over 40 miles an hour or 40 minutes or something. I don't know. There's some kind of limit.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, because they can't like guarantee it for a certain time or miles per hour or something, or I don't know. But I'm like, well, we're putting a lot of faith in that boat cover.
Fingers crossed.
For a 13-hour trip. But we have all our clothes, so it worked out.
Do you think y'all will ever transition from the Airbnb life to a camper life?
There are definitely days that I want to, and I've 100% looked into it because I like to have all of my own stuff. Yeah. And it would be super nice not to have to like pack up. Yes, and take 36 hours to like pack everything and get it ready, and then you have to unload all that. So I think a camper would be nice in that respect. Yeah. But Dylan is like a very like numbers guy, and so when he sits down and crunches like, we need a new vehicle for this, like then someone's gonna have to drive separate with the boat, or
like financial sense is not there, but like sanity might win out.
Yes. He's like, the fuel, 2 cars, you're driving separate, we have this all this stuff, so
but like, when you factor in different things, so like I told you guys we would talk about the story. So today when we walked in the Airbnb, well, I guess we could start from the beginning. They had, at this Airbnb in particular, they don't have a one heating area. They have space heaters, which That's normal. Especially, like, if you go certain places where it either doesn't get super cold or whatever. So, we went to plug in the computer, and this outlet over here went...
Just like that.
Just like that. Yeah. So, a little bit of smoke, a lot of bit of smelliness. So, you probably saw this nice man come in and out of this door. Oh my God, I saw my hand and I was like, oh, he might be back.
He's here.
Yeah, he might be back. But, so he had to run different electrical stuff. So, you kind of have to deal with that if you're going Airbnb versus camper.
Yes.
At least camper, it's your own stuff to mess with versus the Airbnb, we can't really, like, assess the outlet.
Yeah.
Just fingers crossing it.
And never on their description is the Airbnb going to be like 100% truthful. Like, they're not going to say our house is warmed by space heaters in every room and our electrical is from like the 17th century. Did they have
Really?
electricity back then? I don't even know.
I don't know, but if they did, it would look like that.
Yes. We have a glass fuse box, which insurance Brittany is
like,
not
no.
good.
The fuses are glass, just
Yeah.
FYI.
Also, previous Airbnb, they can take very, very good pictures that are very deceiving.
They haven't had the best luck this year with their Airbnbs, to be quite honest.
And we've actually got baby daddy calling right now for an update. Hi, honey.
At least it hasn't made a
on
noise.
Fire.
Yeah, it hasn't made a noise in a while.
Oh, she's okay. Yeah, Kristen's been just holding her and rocking her. Oh. Yeah. She was cold earlier, but hopefully it's going to be warming up now. Yeah, there's a space heater in every room.
They got like 5.
There's like a little 5.
At least, I mean, the 2 big ones look like...
What? Yeah, they're all running. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's one thing if, like, the house catches on fire when no one's here, but it's another, with, like, the animals here burning alive. Or, like, while we're sleeping, or, like, I walk out to the dock and, it sparks and I'm not here. But I will tell you, I have gone over in my head pass, pull, aim, squeeze, and sweep about 100 times with this fire extinguisher, and I know right where it's at.
At least it's close.
So, yeah, it's very close. That's probably why they have it.
Yeah. We could test it out.
I hope it does work.
I've always wanted to do it.
Grab the baby and the animals and run.
Did you look at it?
Okay. I don't know yet, honey. Chicken something. Yeah, chicken something. Is that okay?
You could do sweet baby rays and chicken.
Yeah.
If you add a little honey.
Okay, really love you. Bye.
I like a little honey because it like crisps up a little bit. So
ooh.
It like caramelizes the barbecue sauce. It's so good. Okay. So we're semi-safe now in this Airbnb.
Yeah.
We do have plugs. No microwave, but plugs.
Don't forget your pass.
Yeah. Pull,
aim,
switch,
squeeze, sweep.
Is this the sweep?
Sweep.
I had never heard that before. That's good.
Yeah.
I would just be like,
how does this work?
I know. I would be reading the directions. Fire going. Excuse me, pass. So what is the biggest challenge y'all have faced so far with this life?
Airbnbs.
Oh. Yeah, I guess that was a given.
Airbnbs. We've had really, really good luck. So I think we were bound to have a little like setbacks, but yes.
Well, and it probably wasn't really noticeable until you had Cameron, and then there's like those specific things, like lots of area and stuff like that.
100%, yeah. There's a lot that I can deal with that I wouldn't even think twice about, like because I can go with the flow, but then I have to think about her and her safety and her health and all those things. So things definitely change.
It is warming up in here. It feels good.
Yeah. 5 space heaters.
So what would Dylan say is his favorite moment or biggest high point of his career?
Oh, gosh.
It's kind of loaded, but
Yeah. I think him just qualifying for the Bass Pro Tour was probably his highest, most proud moment.
Yeah.
You know, you can come in second and third and those are all like wonderful, but I think when he qualified for Bass Pro Tour, he was really, really proud of himself.
Yeah, good.
Just to see how far he's come.
I mean, it's huge. It did it again.
What was that?
It just beeped.
Wait, what beeped?
I don't know, but that thing went, something beeped.
The mic.
See, I think we just need to unplug this microwave. Because I think he is trying to turn on, and he just can't.
I would just rather it not,
Yeah, because
Okay.
he beeps, and that thing goes, shh. So, we're just, I just wouldn't touch that little microwave.
Okay, we're up to 4 times on
Yeah.
that outlet.
What is your favorite moment of his career? Going back to random questions, but what do you think your favorite moment is? Not dying in the Airbnb.
Yeah, yes, a good safe night's sleep, making it through the day. Whether you're taking a walk with your dog in a not good neighborhood or you're trying to survive in a house with electrical issues.
Make it work.
What is the question?
Sorry, your favorite moment of his career.
My favorite moment are anytime he makes championship days.
Yes.
I'm always so proud. Yes. I'm
They're
always
so
so
fun.
proud for him. And
It's like such a small group too, so it's like
yeah. And it says something, you know, to be able to make it that far
Yeah.
and make it on that day and then getting to watch him on TV, I think is just super cool. Just to see them living out their dreams, I think is
Yes.
what makes me so happy.
I know, I love it.
Yes.
So what's your typical tournament routine? Like, do you guys have something you do every time before the tournament day, on the tournament day? Do you like to do different things at launch? Like, do you have a routine at all that y'all like?
No, not really.
Or even like superstition-wise routine?
No, he's not very big into like superstition, so he thinks that like it's all just what you make of it.
Yeah. Which is a good way to be.
Yes, and I tell him, so like,
do you have superstitions?
No, I don't think that I do have any superstitions.
Would you put a banana in his boat?
I would.
Would you?
I would. Yes,
I would not.
I would. Actually, I gave him a banana for lunch yesterday.
Oh,
now, I don't know if it made it to the boat or not, but I did give him one.
So what is your, like, thing that you kind of think about that you were saying?
Well, it's not really a superstition, but what I've told him this year that I don't think he was super pleased about, but his first day of tournament is always like, I don't want to say it's always a miss, but it's always a learning experience. And so I told him this year, I said, practice day number 3, we get that extra practice day.
Yeah.
Take that as your first
day.
tournament day. And like, you know, get to it. Because he always learns so much on the first tournament day. So I was just like, this year, use your 3rd practice day as like tournament day number 1 to kind of
get going.
Yes, because it's always like a comeback. He's like the comeback kid. So like, you know, he's always fighting to kind of get up into like the knockout round and all that stuff. And I'm like, let's just start strong.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So that was kind of what I said.
That's good advice, I feel like.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Just so you guys know, this year they did get an extra, it's like a half a day of practice, so they have to be off the water at like 2 or 3, I can't remember. But that is pretty cool because you can use that as your first tournament.
Yeah. Kind of just put your mindset and kind of get into that mode and try to learn as much as you can on those days before you go into.
Do you launch him? Like, do you come to launch on the tournament mornings?
I do sometimes. Yeah. So, like, this year's going to be a lot different with Cameron. I'm going to try to make it to all of the launches.
Yeah.
Last year I was putting him in and then, you know, either taking the trailer in the truck or just leaving the trailer there, which is really nice to do. But this year I think it's just going to be like every morning might be a little bit different. We just have to see how she does and what
how
she
the
needs.
night probably went.
Mm-hmm.
If you actually slept or not.
Yes.
Huge.
Huge. And then last year I was doing like his pictures and his little videos and stuff like that for media. And
are you doing it this year?
I'm going to try to,
Okay.
for as much as I can, and then we'll kind of just see how it goes.
Yeah. What is something random that you do that you think helps make him successful on the water?
Cooking for him.
Yeah.
I think cooking is huge. Like I said earlier, if it wasn't for me, I think he'd be eating, or Brittany, because when he traveled with you guys, you fed, yes, you fed them well.
I like to feed the boys.
Yes. Well, because you have to have food in your belly for your brain to work good.
I think so.
Like, I can't be
100%.
hungry.
Yeah. Then I'm just thinking about food the whole time.
Right. So, like I said earlier, if it wasn't for me, he'd have like crackers and peanut butter. But I think having like a packed lunch and getting like a breakfast and coming home to dinner, I think those are things that I can just take off of his plate, and he worries a little bit less about them, and it's a way that I can help out.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite, like, random thing that, you know, that we can do, but like to do.
I think the cooking and the food is underrated.
100%. 100%. Because even thinking about what you want to cook when you get home is like, you know, it's a lot. I mean, I freaking hate thinking about it. I like having it for them, but trying to schedule what I'm going to cook, I'm like constantly, all right, Instagram, what you got new?
Yes. Easy recipes.
Easy recipes. 2-ingredient recipes.
Yeah. And like, I just had a phone call from him, you know, and he's asking, well, what's for dinner? I'm hungry. And I'm like,
something.
Chicken something.
Yeah. Chicken barbecue. Barbecue chicken.
Sounds good.
How many more years do you want to see Dylan fish professionally?
Ooh, I want to see him fish until he can't get in a boat anymore.
I love
it. Like, physically. So if he can be 75 and still professionally fishing, go for it and do it. Because I know how much he loves it.
Yeah.
And I know how much it brings to him, like, peace and just happiness. And I want him to continue that for as long as he can.
I love that. So during tournament season, do you watch live?
Yes, 100%.
And when he's on and not on?
It goes back and forth when he's not on.
I know, me too.
But then when he's on, I'm for sure on it. 100%.
I'm like always looking at Squirt Tracker, but if he doesn't have a camera, like it depends who else has a camera. So like if you had to choose someone that wasn't Dylan to watch on live, who would be someone you like to watch on live? Just one.
Oh, well, we always root for Matt. So
thanks.
There's like a handful of people that we're always like, I'm always like rooting for and checking where they're at. So I mean,
and that's what I mean when I say like there's certain people that if they also have a camera, like I'm also watching live.
Yeah.
Just because I like want to see them also succeed. But otherwise, like I'm on Score Tracker, like it's nobody's business. I mean, her and I, we love some live. Our first house, the Toledo Bend house, the internet was atrocious. And we were sitting in her car watching, like, because her car has satellite, but oh my gosh, that was a mess.
Oh no.
So from your perspective, what makes a successful angler, do you think?
Their drive and their dedication and just constantly putting their nose to, you know, the ground and just keep on going. I think everyone has good days and bad days as a person, and even more so as an angler, because you're trying to catch a wild animal as your profession. And so I think it just comes down to, I don't know, just motivation, dedication, and even on the bad days, keep going and keep seeing the dream.
Yeah, it's freaking awesome. Yeah. I think, like, it takes a hell of a person to be that consistent of like loving something, passionate about it, like driving for it. Like it's definitely addicting.
Yeah.
Go figure. You know? Okay, one last question and then we'll wrap up with a few quick hits that I do with everyone. What are you most proud of that you and Dylan have accomplished together? It can be fishing related or non-fishing related.
Oh, I think I'm just so proud of our life and our relationship. Of course, we have the baby, so I'm so proud of her, but I'm really proud of our relationship and how far it's come in the couple years we've been together. And
I'm proud of it too.
Oh.
No, I would say that because it is like, and you, I mean, know this, like coming in, you like don't really know what to expect, and then you're like basically like plop this gigantic life and then trying to like address it, you know, you never know.
And there's always like external factors for everyone, you know, like everyone's always got things going on outside of their life or in their life or, you know, and outside of your spouse's life. There's just always things going on that I think can impact your relationship with each other. And so I'm really proud of us for just working through different things and not letting it impact us.
choosing each other.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, good.
And now we have a beautiful baby.
I know.
So, of course,
That's
I'm so proud
fun.
of her.
So we're going to wrap up with some quick hits. So let's start with, what is your PB and where did you catch it?
Oh, well,
We can do largemouth and smallmouth if you want to.
Okay, my largemouth, it's only like a 5-pounder.
That's still big. That's still big.
It is, but you would think with all the fishing I've done and everywhere we've been that I would have like something way bigger than that, but I don't. But I'm still really proud of it because it was in my kayak.
Then that's way big, because pulling it in a kayak.
Yes, and I picked my own lure.
Yeah.
We were in Texas. I was in a back little creek, and I had a little paddle, like, cheap kayak. And so I think I'm very proud of that.
Yeah, that's very... Do you have a smallmouth PB or not yet?
I forget what it is.
Yeah. They're kind of, like, depending on where you go, they're, like, all little orbs. You know, so the big ones are, like, 5 and 6 pounds. So it's, like... If you can catch a 5 and 6 pounder, like, that's solid.
Yeah. Yeah, my smallmouth was a pretty good size, but I don't even remember.
I know. I like
so
to say
bad with
mine
that.
was like 4.5, but Matt says it was not 4.5.
Oh, it was
I was like, it was. I didn't weigh it, so that's why we can't really solidify, but he was big. He was very big.
You're proud of it.
I'm super proud.
That's
And
what
they're
matters.
so beautiful. They are so beautiful.
They are.
What is your go-to show or movie? Or book?
Real Housewives of anything.
Heck yeah. What?
Except Real Housewives. I'll just
I
there.
like it.
It's like,
do you have a favorite of any of them?
oh.
Like Beverly Hills?
Okay. Miami, Beverly Hills,
Oh my
New
gosh.
York.
I didn't know you were a trash TV lover.
Oh, I am. I love it. I love it. I just love it.
That's awesome.
When I hear what they complain about,
Yes.
I'm like, man.
I got it good.
Yeah, God, it's so good. I don't want any of that.
No. Can you back a boat?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yep. Dylan taught me. I
Yeah.
started to learn before him, but
Yeah.
then now I can do it without
Actually,
having
full
to worry
throttle.
about anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's so satisfying once you get it down, because then I feel like it's like secure. Like you can do anything with that little trailer if you need
Yeah,
to.
and I like to be able to help. You know, I don't always have to, and I don't always choose to.
Yeah.
There's mornings where I'm like, I'm sitting in my heated seats, and I'm not moving out of here. Like, you can deal with it.
Yeah.
But knowing that I can do it is different.
Yes. Yeah. Can do it and don't want to do it.
Yes.
Is different than can't. So if you all played Uno, so if you and Dylan were playing Uno together in a group, and you had a draw 4 card, would you play it on Dylan or wait until you got a reverse card and play it on like the next person?
No, Dylan, 100%.
Yeah?
Yes, 100%.
Every time?
Every time.
Oh my gosh, I answered this on my thing, and I said, because everyone I've interviewed says they would play it on their person.
Yeah.
Missy said she'd play it on whoever was winning, and I said, I like 100% was thinking like, yes, I would play it on Matt, but then I started thinking like at Christmas time, I would play it on anyone else until like he was like the last resort, and I'm like, what is wrong with me, Brittany? Get it together, woman.
100%.
Yeah, I like it. I think I should. I'll try it out next Christmas. I'll instead of playing it on my Nana, I'll play it on Matt. She's ruthless. She wins. She takes all of our money at left, right, center. Like, she's good.
She's good.
Oh yeah, she's
Okay.
good. Okay, one more thing before you leave. I am taking this from another podcast, and I love it. What is a question you have for our next guest without knowing who our next guest is?
Okay. So for the next guest, I would ask them, what would they change about tournament life?
Okay.
Whether it be like
The house stuff or the actual fishing stuff.
Yeah, what would they change about it?
What would you change about it?
Oh,
Sorry. Put you on the spot.
Dang, I should have thought about that part.
Do you have anything you would change?
I don't know.
I was trying to think.
I don't really think so.
either.
I think we're like so go with the flow that kind of whatever they throw at you, you're like, okay, cool. Like
Yeah.
we'll manage it, whatever happens.
Yeah.
So
I would change bringing back live to day 1 and 2 Major League Fishing.
that would be a good change.
But that's the only one right now.
Also a good call, Brittany.
So that is our show. Thank you so much for being here. If people want to follow you or Dylan or your adventure anywhere, where can they look?
All social media for Dylan Hayes Fishing.
Perfect.
And then when I was fishing a little bit more, I had my own little Katie may be fishing, because I may be or I may be not.
Yes, I loved the play on words. I instantly got it.
I'm so happy because I wondered.
I'm like, yeah, no.
Do people get this or not?
100%.
Okay.
I was like, that is way cute. I mean, you know, play on words is my strong suit. I'm a good pun person, so I was like, oh.
It's like, I wonder if anyone's going to get this or if they just think it's weird. But that's where I'm at. More so like baby and home content now, but proudly so.
Yes, proudly. So it's wonderful. Okay, so again, I love all of these women. You guys know this, and I'm very, very excited and proud to bring you guys their stories so that you can get involved in our lives, their fishing lives, and the journey, and just become part of it. If you have any questions you want me to ask a guest or a guest that you'd like to see, put it in the comments. I'd be happy to try and reach out and figure all that out. But I do plan to release one episode a week through 2024. So make sure to subscribe and follow along. But that is our show. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.